I remember so good. It was about 15 years ago or something. I actually forgot one exactly. I was in the start of my spiritual business, and I was always already very experienced as a personal development coach. So I had the possibility to be a guest author on a very famous blog from a very famous personal development coach from Austria. And he asked me if I would love to write a blog about patterns and um, habits. And I said, hell yes, I am. I would love to do that. And I wrote an article and he wrote me back. I never expected something like that. Because in my business, I actually help my clients to stop living like an habit animal, to stop and interrupt every habit because habits are bad. And when I read your blog, Chantal, I learn that habits are also good. And this was exciting for me because I did not have this reality that habits are bad. For me, it was always how to deal with the things, right? So let's stick with that. But actually, it's scientifically proven that we are habit animals. And this is coming directly related to the fact that we have these patterns, and the most are actually unconscious in subconscious, like programmed. I remember once I made a Facebook advertisement, an ad, and I wrote about that. It was about 10 years ago. I wrote about the the power we human have when we literally learn to reprogram our subconscious pattern. And I had there a comment from a very, very angry woman asking me, do you think now we have to behave like a machine? And this was also very astonishing for me, because I never had this thought to be a machine, of course, but I realized with this reaction, yes, I can relate to that. I know what she means. Coming from like an engineer, I actually have clients, male clients, um, who are engineers, and looking from that part, they are programming machines. And back at the times, this was the programming part, right? But now we know it even more. We program AIs and funnels and all the stuff, right? So everything which is going into automation is always something which I find very, very fascinating. But these experiences actually gave me so much more drive to go deeper with that, and to learn also with the work with my clients, actually, um, what this means when we work consciously with our patterns. And I developed systems and I made other educations just to learn how to transform and to overcome bad patterns, bad conditionings, bad experiences, even traumas, right? All the stuff we do in the meantime, it's very clear for everyone who's doing personal development. Don't even have to be a spiritual personal development, but we know that we can do and often have to do this inner work in order to create a new better life or to reach goals. So this was actually a very intensive path for me, and also educating myself as the leader of the academy Dragonfly in Switzerland, where I hosted at that time the coach program, the today's coach program. So, long story short, I work now since 22, it's the 23rd year, as a self-employed coach. And I started at that time, even the times before, as a personal development coach. And I remember I was one of the first coaches calling myself coach, right? Because from America, we know this term actually from sport. But here in my world, where I developed this name of profession, and later on, I was not the only one, and now it's a whole industry, especially the online coach. It's nothing new anymore, and it's suddenly certainly not only coming from me, of course, but we know that. We know it. It's very helpful to work with a coach, especially when we realize this inner work helps us, and when we also know about our blind spot and all the things. You can actually find other videos about this part if you want. Go back in my 97 live stream challenge and you find all the topics there. So the crazy thing is that the longer I worked with people in the first years 101, and then I developed systems, I sold packages, and then I learned to sell the benefit and not my time. And the longer I worked with my clients, and the more I went online, and I'm 100% online already 12 years now, I realized that there is some magic. When we as a teacher and as a coach online use this magic from our own individual patterns and skills, we can actually massively create a massive, more and higher benefit for our clients. So let's go back to the habit part, which I mentioned in the beginning, because we have always habits and we need habits literally to survive. Human being could not survive when we would delete all the habits. We would literally lose ourselves, lose our mind. We need, and we are built to create habits and to build on that, to develop ourselves with that. So when I realized from this other colleague in Austria that they actually teach to stop the habits because they assume habits are bad, I realized I assumed subconsciously that they are good, right? So I sticked with that. I always taught my clients to learn to observe ourselves and to realize where do I have habits which are like literally nurturing the good way, the good identity of me, the identity I wanted to be, I desire to be, which is directly according to my goals, my soul calling, my true purpose, my soul mission, and to strengthen and to compound that. But also realizing other bad, worse habits and learn to locate them and to replace them with good habits, because the good habits, I can literally lead them in a direction where I need them, where they help me, right? So with this work, I realized that there are literally 4 codes for us where we can read and learn from our natural behavior, from the way we are designed as a unique unique human being. That's these codes. I'm very sure that there are more than four, but I located four which are very important as soon as we work with our clients, especially when we work online. We can actually use them to scale and to make much more impact, even if we are the only one moderating a call with a lot of people in a call. And this is actually amazing. This is something I never heard anywhere, and I'm in the international coaching industry since years now. I never heard someone talking about that, and I know I'm literally the first, but it will go like with the term coach, right? Personal coach. Um, it will be not a long time that others also realize these patterns. So let's stick with that a little bit, because I teach that in the Transformation Mastery Hub on my school. It's one of my pet schools, and this is also the home of the coach program. And I soon will launch the coach program again. And if you want to come to the waitlist, you can find the link below, and you click there to come in my WhatsApp waitlist, and you don't miss any news in the launch phase. As soon as I have several very potent follower on this waitlist, it's very private, by the way. We don't see your name and all the stuff, and you also cannot see the others. But you can see my messages as soon as I have some really potent interested people. I will actually start with a new launch for the coach program. So this is a part of the coach program, but you also can just join it without going the coach program in the Transformation Mastery Hub, because it's such an important work. So code number 1 is the relationship code. We have you can literally say, from God, through our soul, have a unique way to bond with others. You can actually also read that with a human design or with a birth chart from astrology or whatever is foundational, helping you to understand your unique character and your potential, actually. But with this method, you learn to read and to see your patterns within your way of relationship. And it's not about, oh, I'm such a bad wife, I'm such a bad part in a couple, that's why I'm not able to blah blah blah. Don't go there. It's not about the negative things. You literally learn to watch and to look back with a method I call the Inner Academy, to look back and to see the good patterns which is just you. Like, you could say a pattern in a plant, so that it knows when you seed when you seed when you plant the seed, that it knows it gets a rose. This seed has a code in the seed, so that it don't get a spaghetti or something like that, right? So it's literally the same. You can literally imagine yourself. I have a problem with the thing that so you can literally imagine yourself that you have this within you, and this makes you very unique, and this is a good thing, right? So you look back and you learn to study with the relationship code exercises, where you actually subconsciously nurtured this code, and you literally learn from your own past how you are functioning in an individual way, and you learn from the Inner Academy method to take this code, bring it in your subconscious with this work, obviously, and then you learn to use it in hindsight and in advance. And then you are not anymore like the being realizing after it's already done that you are not happy with it, or that you are happy with it and you're just wonder how did it work, right? How did it work? But you actually take your code and you use it consciously now. And this is very important. As soon as you work with your clients, as soon as you work one on one, and then later also in the group, if you use this your way to bond with them, they will actually be much more attracted by you, because it's more of your truth, and they create much faster a certain trust to take your guidance and to feel safe in your energy, right? So you also realize with this task who are your soul people, and soul people is an overall term for not only your soul clients, but also those human beings with which are so happy with you, which are so such a fan from you, but would never be a client. This could be a brother, or an ex-husband, or a husband, or your children, or whoever, your best friends. If they really love you, they love you with every new effort you actually create, right? And they are your biggest fans, but would never be your clients. This is soul people. It's both your soul clients and also your biggest fans. And you also learn about the power of one, which actually I got from God. And then later on, a client told me that someone already wrote a book about that. You can find it online. It's a very famous person. But this is synchronicity, like always, right? It's the third time that we talk about that today. But fact is that as soon as you actually literally install this relationship code consciously in your behavior, how you consciously behave with people, by the way, also with AIs. When you want to learn more about that, watch my other videos about AI and human. And when you learn to take your code in a conscious way and use it, you literally increase your customer lifetime value. This is a skyrocketing process, and it's an energetical process. You just do the same thing, but you do it according to your unique relationship code. This is mind blowing. The second code is your unique purpose code. So, this is actually based on knowing your true purpose, your soul calling. You can get to know that and learn that for free in my soul calling portal. The link is below. And as soon as you go through this class to get to know your unique sense, the source of your unique soul, your soul, this is you. A lot of people actually connect with another source, but when they ask for soul things, and then they do the loops and lose all the years, right? When they ask their brain or their husband's idea of your future, or whatever, but not their soul, they actually do loops and lose a lot of years. But in this course, you automatically learn how to connect with your soul, and you know then how it feels, and you can just decide. And also for the future, you have the best oracle. Actually, you can directly ask your soul for whatever you need. This is one benefit, but the main benefit should be that you learn to ask the right questions. You get them in the classroom, and you literally get the answers and put the things together and realize what your true purpose is. This is very magical, and it has also a lot to do with your past, of course. But it's coming from your soul. And you always know, I'm able to know today what I really can digest. Sometimes I get clients, they come to me and say, I did the soul calling process already a few years ago with you, but why do I know now more and more logical things than that at that time? And it's only because you are literally safe. You are always safe. God is saving you. You don't get more informations which are you are not able to digest. I hope this makes sense. So going back to the purpose code, this is an additional clarity to your true soul calling, because I call it's like a crown, from the queen or the king, on top of your soul calling, aka expertise, aka positioning. As soon as you start to work with your new soul calling, with this clarity and this joy, and you start to monetize it, you create more and more an expertise. The more you document the things, the more you go with this excitement and joy, the more you learn and the less you know, like Einstein already told us. But you can actually top all this knowledge then with the unique purpose code, which is um, some specific informations which will help you to leverage your game out there in the market, because you don't want to deal with competition. You want to create your own blue ocean and not swim in the red ocean where all the bad competitors of you are making you sleepless nights, literally, right? If you don't know what a blue ocean is, there is a book out there, very famous. I actually don't know by heart the author, but it's called something like Red Ocean, Blue Ocean. Go and grab the thing. It's one of the best education for you as an entrepreneur. I can only recommend it. But using your unique purpose code helps you to sharpen your unique selling point and to realize also what your true authority makes. And you get so much more confidence and strength. And this has a direct um, correlation and benefit on your visibility and how you speak up. I hope this makes sense. So the third code is the spiritual gift code. And this is a very important thing, because you can actually learn, and my client Sabine Walters teaches that, and I also was a student in her academy 25 years ago. You can learn how to use the clear senses. I also talked about that in former videos. Go back if you are interested in. You can learn about the clear senses. You can learn how to train them. You can learn how to use it as a medium and to channel spirit world. And this is a very, very good thing. And if you feel attracted from that, you should do that as an education, as a very important experience to sharpen your senses, your clear senses, right? So speaking of the spiritual gift code, it means that you not only work then with this different senses and you train them and you realize where you have more intensive usage automatically and where you have the desire to train more. I remember very well when I was in this education in Sabine's school, it was actually suddenly that I got the desire to train with maps, because I had always, when I channeled as someone from spirit world, sometimes also a dead person, not a dead, dead person, and described it, and all the stuff. And then I had always like the picture of a map, and they showed me where they lived and where they moved from A to B and all the stuff. I realized this is very fascinating because I had also colleagues, they just got the address. They heard the address in their inner ear, or they could read it with their inner eyes, which is a passive clairvoyance. And I did not get the addresses like that. I got the informations in another way, and this has to do with our uniqueness. And when you realize what blend of clear senses is working from your inside, within you, through you, and you have this clarity, very conscious, and you are very aware about that, you actually can use it to help your clients, right? If you don't have this awareness, you just by accident use it, or accidentally it gets a usage when you work with the clients. But sometimes it's just beautiful when you can decide to take that skill, that blend of skill, and just use it. Sometimes there are also skills you cannot use it by command. I have an example for you. I got it about 15 years ago. I got to blend a specific, unique spiritual skill, which is when someone's around me is listening secretly to whatever I chat. Let's say I chat with you here, or I chat with someone through earpods and they can listen to my voice but not the other. Or if they listen to a chat and I literally chat with someone sitting on my side, and it's just a private thing, but they listen, right? I can see it that they listen because their ears are growing. And this is actually an active clairvoyance, right? It's I see it actively with my eyes. It's a sensitive, clear sense, a unique spiritual gift. And spiritual, or better said, God wants that I know that this person is listening. And God wants that I then make a conscious decision if this is okay, or if I should shut down whatever I just wanted to talk about that, or just to change the room, right? Sometimes it's important, but it's a very good situation actually to explain you. Also, we are always protected. God is protecting us always. Spirit world is helping God, and God is working through our soul for us, and experienced our story also through our soul, through us, with us, right? So it has a sense, there is a logic, there is a meaning behind the fact that you have unique spiritual gifts, and you can develop your unique codes. You can get aware about some specific spiritual gifts when you go through this workshop and this work. And I even invite the students in the coach program to do the workshop several times, because let's say a few months ago, we were not able to digest one specific spiritual code, but now we are actually open for it, right? So we have always the possibility to go through the workshop again, and then to realize what is this specific blend of clear senses working for us, and to train ourselves to use it with our clients. And especially when we use the thing online, one blend for me, which probably makes sense for you as an example, when I work with my clients online, I can not only open rooms, energetically rooms online, like I would open a room in a seminar house and or in a hotel, and I invite you there physically, right? Then I also prepared a room which is meant for this retreat or whatever it will be. It's the same online, but energetically, I open a room. And in this room, I also not only invite those who are live now with me online in this room, but I also invite all of those who will listen to the recording later. And this is also a technique, by the way, which I teach in the coach program. And it's not as hard to train that. You can learn that. I got it as one of my unique gifts, but I also started to teach that to my students, and it's possible. But this is actually one of the methods which give you the possibility to scale with whatever you record. And it's only you doing the thing, right? And it's always working for you. And I know a lot of colleagues out there are already doing it, and some are doing it subconsciously, and some are doing it consciously or half. But they would probably listen to that and say, yes, that's true what she's saying. I do it as well. So the fourth code is the deep transformation code for online work, right? So the deep transformation online code has to do with this energetic programming I just mentioned before. And it has also to do with the fact that when you work one-on-one with your clients, the more you do the one-on-one with your clients, you will, through this workshop, realize a pattern how you do the things very beautifully on your own. You don't need another way how to transform people in your one-on-ones. You can learn, and in my coach program I show you a very natural way, which is just natural, and you go with that and you train with that, and you will literally observe how your soul and God through your soul is working through you with your clients. And then you learn with the method the Inner Academy, which I teach my students, and also those in the Transformation Mastery Hub, how to use it. You learn then to literally see the pattern, how you accidentally are, in a good way, how you are using this code. And as soon as you get aware of it, you can literally take it and really use it with much more power than if you do it subconsciously, right? It's always the awareness is creating more power, it's creating more intensity, and with that more and better results, more clarity for your clients. We're talking always about your clients. It's just what you can actually create and do by using consciously your codes, and your clients is just Ave. He will be just through the moon because he feels the things. It's only an energy thing, and you learn literally to lead the energies. You learn literally to transform the energies in this room you create for you and your clients. And it's even possible and better possible with a group, and the bigger the group is, the better it is possible. And you also have to train that, because we have in our mind, okay, I can imagine I use the coach with one person in a one-on-one, makes sense. But how is it when I have 10 people or 100 people in a call? Then I cannot use it. But you can actually. You just have to learn how, and then you train it. It's not that hard. Actually, it's always like that. It's actually always like that. The soon as we know the things, you can create an imagination about that, an idea about that, and you start to use it, you try it out, and then you realize, oh my God, it's working, and then you train it, right? And the training is actually the perfect closure today for this topic of human habits. The training is helping us again to create a good habit and to program it, to settle it down in the subconscious, because everything which is consciously, and we do it consciously, is a very is a energy consuming way. But when we know how to create new habits, good habits, when we know how it is working, then we are actually very interested to learn something new and to create from that a subconscious habit. This is, by the way, also one part of the energetic automation I always talk about. So, in my company house of coaching here in Dubai, we have we started this company very fresh, and it's led from the mission which God gave me to come to Dubai and to go globally, to speak instead of German, English, and to invite people to join the movement, to join the mission. You can enter in the Soul Calling portal if you're curious about that, or you can just ask me on WhatsApp if you want to work with me directly. But this movement is meant for coming together for like-minded leaders, as we are leaders, entrepreneurs, doesn't matter. Most often we are both, right? So to come together and to learn to bring our skills online, because online our soul business is scalable, and you learn with this code how even to do it with much less effort, but with a lot of joy and a lot of uniqueness, yeah, and with your truth, which is actually the most important thing here, because your uniqueness is meant for this world. Your uniqueness as a leader, as an entrepreneur, is actually what the world needs. Trust me. You think nowadays perhaps the world doesn't wait on me. We hear that, right, in our past. Or I don't know what I have to give them. This is very egoistic to think that. And I invite you to literally delete these limited beliefs, because we are now definitively again in a new age. It started already in 2018, but now we are again in a new age, and the world is changing very fast now. And if someone does not realize that, and and following the inner impulses to also adjust the changes within us, it gets very strange next years for those people. But I know I attract actually those leaders which are feeling it, which are realizing, oh yes, I feel it as well. There is a lot of change, not only in economic and politics out there. I don't do politics and economics, but I work in an economy, right? And there is a new age for everyone, for every country as well. And the new leaders are really needed. And that's why you are also needed with your uniqueness, with your unique codes, the unique way you are able to deliver your skills to help your soul clients. And of course, you must learn to do from that a soul business, to monetize it if you are not already an entrepreneur. But if you are an entrepreneur, you know exactly from what I speak actually, because the monetization is very important also from an energetic point of view. If we want that our skills are literally helping, because this is the other law with giving and receiving, right? But this is actually a topic for another video. If you want to know more about that, write in the comment giving and receiving, and I know it, and I will love to prepare something. And if you are interested in my coach program, please join the waitlist. You find the link below. It's a WhatsApp waitlist and it's anonymous. So don't worry about your name and all the stuff. It's private. And you can also actually, you don't have to wait until I launch the thing. I don't know when. It really depends on the interest and the numbers I see on the waitlist, and then I start launch. But if you don't want to wait to actually learn how to develop and to train these codes, just join my transformation mastery hub. You can enter for $333 a month. You can cancel anytime, no contract, nothing. Could be that you have the thing within 1 month, right? It could be. It's the home of the coach program as well. You can also witness the members in the professional part. We have some professionals now who are on the finish line, and you can also join for free actually level 1 of the coach program if you are interested on that. That's a real no-brainer deal, I would say. And you have literally nothing to lose, only to win. You find the link for Transformation Master Hub as well down below. Feel invited. I would love and be happy to see you there or there, whatever you choose. Good night.